I think at 4 million budget, right, it really is this like line that is thinning day by day.
It's like a hairline.
It's like the last few units that you can find that is of a really quite at this budget. Cannot find much. Really
why you never respond to my receding hairline? Say like, very thin, ma. Say it's just like a hairline, like a receding hairline. Then she just continue and continue and
because the three of us don't have. I mean, if George is here, maybe I can talk about it lah. Okay, next up, let's go on to a 2.3 million kind of budget. And just to see again, like what is he asking us for those who are upgrading to a spacious unit or exploring boutique condos. Now, this one got me really curious. The moment something, if it's not a if it's, okay, yeah. So something got me very intrigued.
The boutique condo part,
the boutique condo, like, how come suddenly got one boutique condo that pops up? So, what's the definition of a boutique condo, Rong?
It's boutique. Okay, usually to me, less than 50 units I consider as a boutique.
15 or 50? 50.
Anything less than 50 units.
Less than 50.
So, at 2.3 million budget for those upgrading to a spacious unit. Oh, what is available first? What kind of house can you buy at 2.3?
Well, I think like 2.3, I mean, considered like
decent options.
Spacious is subjective. Like how big is like big enough?
What is considered spacious? Or maybe we define what is considered spacious.
Okay, so let's say for example, you have a family with 2 kids. What is considered like spacious to you? I would say that definitely a 4-bedder is spacious for me. If I can get like, let's say about 1,004 square feet and above, 4-bedder, I think it's spacious enough for me. I've seen some layouts that's 1,003 plus.
At 2.3 million? Please be relevant to the...
We're defining spacious, right? So that's spacious for me. What's spacious for you? Or you want to go in context with the 2.3?
Yeah, okay. Like you let me stay the studio at the dual key. I'm happy with. Yeah, I treat it as my weekend home.
Weekend home. Can.
Don't ask me to pay $2,500 rental lah.
Let me ask you to pay 4.4k for the rental.
Yeah, I won't pay 4.4k lah.
Yeah, so what were we talking about?
Okay, so spacious, you will define as 1,004 square feet and you have 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Okay, and Jesley?
At this quantum, right?
Okay.
Wait, what? 2.3
Yeah.
I think we can explore a 4-bedder. 4-bedder, if let's say if it's 1,003, decent. I mean, for you to go in as an entry. 1,003, I think is okay. I think the more important thing will be the layout. Whether or not there is a utility, there is a storeroom, and then there is a yard area. That will be my main criteria, rather than looking at the size itself. Okay. And of course, the bedroom must be able to fit a queen size for all the bedrooms. Yeah, but I would try not to find any with additional walk-in wardrobe in the master room. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you are saying that like the master room has a dedicated area alcove.
I don't like that.
Created from the developers to have a separate wardrobe area, right?
Yeah, there's quite a number of PCs that
why you not done
that is adding on to the corridor space. And it's very rigid. Like I cannot do anything else except for a walk-in wardrobe. They deem it for it to be a walk-in wardrobe. I want to explore my own space. If I need a walk-in wardrobe, I will convert one room to be a walk-in wardrobe. Okay. Not this like half sheet.
Okay, basically you're saying that
I got a lot of clothes.
Basically you're saying the walk-in wardrobe not big enough for you lah. That's why.
Kind of.
That's what I hear. Actually, those layout is pretty popular among own stay people.
Right.
Because most of the time, right, when you define spaciousness of the home, there are 2 parts that will give you that spacious feeling. One is the living room. Once you have like if you realize that what's the difference between a 1,000 square feet 3-bedroom premium unit versus another 1,500 square feet 3-bedroom premium unit. It's the size of the living room.
You're talking about the layout, is it? Like whether it's a landscape or a portrait?
No, not just about landscape. So for example, if I tell you like you have a 1,500 square feet 3-bedder and a 1,000 square feet 3-bedder, where did most of the size go?
True,
it will go to the living room and some parts of it to the bedroom. So how to define, right, to have like a spacious living room, my key indicator is this. If today you got 2 young kids,
Okay.
Do they have space to run around? If they don't have space,
between the
if they don't have space to run around, right, means this is a just nice size
Compact.
living dining. But if you still have a additional space for them to run around, this is considered a very good size living. Most of the time, a typical living room is 3 meters width for like a younger project right now. Sometimes you go and see a more spacious living room. They are 3.5 meters wall to wall. Recently we had I have a listing. Okay. Okay, anyway. the living room space itself is 11 meters by 3.5 meters. Okay, so your living room itself, the space is 500 plus square footage. Yeah, so that is like 500 square feet. So it's 500 plus square feet in the living area is considered pretty spacious.
Yeah.
We recently sold 12.8 million. We recently sold a 7-bedder semi-detached. Their master room, without the walk-in wardrobe and the bathroom, is already 500 square feet.
Can we just put an assumption? Because like what is spacious, right? Let's say that they are upgrading to a 4/5-bedder for condos. Would it be possible that he actually wanted to upgrade to a landed for a spacious unit? Because there are
Not at
options.
2.3 million.
Like 99-year lease, left 70 over years.
Loyang.
Like Westwood.
No, even Loyang also don't have 2.3 million.
But other places have.
Very rare lah.
Sembawang have.
Very rare lah.
Have is have lah. Okay, so if you look at what are the options available, see? Wow, 3,000 over square feet. I mean, this is inter-terrace for sure. Where is this?
This one should be a cluster home.
Cluster
Oh, okay. Cluster home.
Yeah.
99-year lease cluster home. So we're just naming out the options available, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you want really size, then you can
But that's
settle
spacious
with settle with 99-year lease landed. Hey, Westwood, for you can find 2.3.
I mean, generally, if you're talking about pure landed meaning that it's not a gated community, you own the land, you can rebuild the house. Most of the time it's 2.7 million and higher for 99 years landed homes. These are usually built in the range of the 1990 plus. So they are like 70 years balance lease. I think like for sizing, but we are at 2.3 million. So go back to 2.3.
Okay, unfortunately, you can out already. And the location is a little bit extreme east and extreme west.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are saying not so connected lah. Right. Okay, so balance answer could be 5-bedder, resale easy. 5-bedder condo, very rare at this kind of price point anymore for like a big project. Of course, just now you mentioned about the 99 years cluster home, the very rare cluster home, 2.3. I think for the size of 3,000 square footage, I think it's very comfortable.
Yeah. I feel like that would be ideal for someone who is downsizing, like from if they are even bigger landed and then they don't care about the balance lease, but they still want to stay in the landed. Okay, then maybe this would be a right size.
What's the balance lease?
70 over years. Usually it's left 2,000 ma. I mean, like let's say the TOP 1999, right? 70 over 71, maybe around there.
70 is fine.
70. The only left Westwood. Last time still got Villa Verde. Last time Q that side 2M plus still have, but I think it went up already. Everyone went up. What else?
You know, 2.3, I think we also can find something that is like what you were mentioning, which is like kind of like XECs or things like that. Because on the outskirts, like for the Punggol region, you can still find like really large size, like 4-bedder, around the 2+ like kind of ranges here as well. So I think if you really want that size, and their size probably about 1,003 to about 1,004 plus. Yeah, so like 4-bed, 4-bath, those kinds. So I think those could be like something that you could also explore for like space lah. Yeah. And
For boutique condos.
I think for boutique condos wise, right, I think definitely there will be options in terms of like boutique condos, because what I noticed for boutique condos wise is that you will find a lot of very interesting like kind of layouts that you can only find on like boutique condos. But some of them are quite rarely seen in like mass producing like large size like condominium projects here as well. So probably like freehold boutique developments, they probably have those kind of like large sizes as well.
Okay lah. So for example, boutique condos, the Kurau area, you have choices. $2.3 million, you're getting something that is freehold status. But I think for boutique condos, the most important thing is why some boutique condos, the price go up. The price can still go up even though the volume of transaction is not there. But why some boutique condos will stagnate? Okay, so maybe we give some key frameworks on what kind of characteristics to avoid. So number one, it's important to know, right, what is the unit mix of this boutique condo. If you are looking at a unit mix of boutique condo where they are mainly for own stay unit 3-bedder and 4-bedder, okay, there is a better chance for the price to increase. If this boutique condo mainly consists of 1 and 2-bedder, this is what we classify as investment project. Investment project usually have lesser capital appreciation potential because the audience that you're attracting to buy the house is not your own stay buyers. They are investors. Investors are picky, they are rental sensitive, they are price sensitive. The project might not be maintained, so they only care about rental yield, etc. and all that. Layouts are usually not as comfortable. The other thing to look at is layout efficiency. In boutique condos, sometimes you see that sizing is very big, but the efficiency is quite bad.
I mean, like long corridors.
Long corridor, big outdoor space, especially if it's a duplex, then maybe the second level is almost a roof terrace. So you look like on paper it's a huge space. And not to forget that for duplexes, if it's not efficient, your staircase will have already taken up quite a bit of space, like 100 plus over square footage, just for that staircase to get from level 1 to level 2. So it makes the entire thing a little bit more cramped. So I think for boutique condos, I'm looking specifically on like layout. If I can find like 1,002 square feet for 3-bedder, it's pretty good. 1,004 plus square feet for 4-bedder is good. So I would prefer to look for like a single plate one instead of like a duplex for this kind of sizing range. Layout must be effective. You need more considerations if you're looking for the duplexes or like the patio units that will balloon up the size on paper but might not give you a lot of livable space internally in the living area or bedroom. Lastly, boutique condos that have good appreciation are usually where if let's say today you're going to a boutique condo and you are buying still the small size unit, like a 3-bedder, 9 plus square feet, it's very hard for it to have appreciation potential. People come to boutique for few reasons. So number one, budget constraint. That's why can sacrifice the facilities or sacrifice some location in exchange to get better space. So space is important for like a boutique condo. Second thing, people come in for quietness. So if you are having a boutique condo and maybe that unit doesn't have very strong facing attributes in the sense that there is a lot of disturbance from a privacy standpoint from like
expressway.
I mean, okay,
can
yes,
be one of it,
can be. Some is like maybe you are too close to your neighbors. There's not enough privacy, or you face another wall.
I think
then every day you 面壁思过.
Thing that I'm very afraid of for boutique condo because they usually are packed together. Like condos after condos after condos after. So they might end up in a situation whereby my facing to my another neighbor is even closer than the usual condo kind of setback. Then it's like, oh, hello. Then like you are perpetually always closing up your curtains.
Maintenance fee is an important consideration. So if let's say it's a boutique condo, if maintenance fee is extremely high, let's say for example it's a 3-bedder and you are paying $500 or more per month, but there's no facilities, this will become a common concern because if you are paying for maintenance fee, what are you paying for?
Security guard.
The automated gate lor. For my car to go in. And then sometimes there's a pool, it's really very pathetic. It's like a jacuzzi and that. Then the gym, right, is also very pathetic. You see one treadmill, you see one dumbbell, that's all.
Barbecue pit.
So for maintenance, people are paying for facilities, right? So if let's say there isn't a lot of facilities, it should not be too high. That's one. So if you can keep it within 400, that will be more ideal.
Wow, it's not easy.
Will be more ideal. Should not be 500 or 600 plus lah. And I think like the parking is important. For boutique condos, if let's say they have basement parking, for boutique condo, not basement, if they have visitor parking lots, additional parking lots then it's great.
It's a plus point.
I will try to avoid mechanical parking projects.
Oh my god. I mean like now that
for boutique condos,
right now that we sold the property, I do have a 2-bedder in Jervois area. So already 2-bedder they got 2 mechanical parking. Got 2 lift. 1个月700块, 1 month $700. It's like that was the first concern. Okay. That was the first. Every time we have an inquiry, I say MCSC is $700. Are you okay? No, okay, can next. That was a huge problem for us. Okay, moving on.
3 million budget, targeting high value freehold properties or sought after locations with rental yield in mind. Jesley, you look like you're thinking.
I am thinking, I'm not really thinking on the high value freehold property yet, but I am more of the latter, which is sought after locations with renter yield in mind.
Yeah.
When you have sought after locations and renter yield, usually there's just two words that come, like two, what do you call that? Two checklists, two checkpoints. One will be the school. Another one is the MRT. Like let's say you're somewhere in existing where the MRT is already there, it's existing, and you are after one of the more popular school, that would be around the budget already. Maybe 3-bedder around D11, D10, you still can find a 3-bedder, good size one. Yeah, that would be
What kind of size?
like 1216 3-bedder kind of square feet in a big project at 1,700 over units kind. Walking distance to MRT and near to within 1 kilometer to a very good school. I like playing guess and check like that. So do you know what it is?
I think like at this price point, we are not focusing on rental yield anymore. Like generally, rental yield comes because there is a strong tenancy profile. Right? There's a lot of tenants looking at that kind of location, looking at that kind of sizing. So most of the time, the higher quantum you go, your rental yield will drop from a percentage standpoint. So that's why highest rental yield in residential market is always HDB.
Oh, okay.
HDB, because it's the cheapest property, right? Okay. And then industrial properties are also like higher rental yields. And then it will be usually like smaller projects. Not smaller, as in like 1-bedder or 2-bedders, because you have a lot of tenants that want to stay on their own, 1 or 2 person. So those will have a little bit more rental yield. If not, you have to create the rental yield yourself. For example, just now the 1.8 million property. If you have a layout that you can add rooms, you can increase the value. That's how you increase rental. If let's say you're not doing any of this, okay lah, yes. So if let's say $3 million, you need to find, maybe currently it's a 3-bedder, but you can cut out a 4-bedder. Then that you can increase the rental yield.
Yeah.
In that sense. $3 million, I will say that you have some selection of good value freehold properties, but not a lot actually. A lot of the spacious, big floor plate, 1,700 square feet, 3-bedroom, freehold, big project, they are closer to like 3.3 at least onwards. 3.5 is more on like the average trending kind of area. So I think like if let's say we are looking at project size 100 to 150, 160 units, you can find some of the smaller freehold projects. But I think this is still decent volume, because most of the time you have like more than 150 units for a freehold project. But I think what's important is the land size, and not so much on number of units. Because if the land size is big enough, what you're accommodating is mainly the unit mix of like a big 2-bedder, 3-bedder mainly. So these are projects that will still have upward trend.
Yeah. I think the 3 million budget still offers like a good range to have. If let's say you really want to find like freehold properties, I think along the East Coast side stretch, you can still find pretty big ones. For example, like Fernwood Towers, there's like 1,006 square feet.
They are not boutique development.
They are not boutique development. Fernwood Towers is pretty big, pretty decent size also. So I think like there are still like opportunities like elsewhere. And for example, like the Summit, we have
Bayshore area in short.
There are Bayshore areas in short. So you still have like opportunities that are still like present around there. But as for rental yield, because some of these projects are pretty old, and like there are some owners that bought it maybe on like the first day of launch or things like that. They can rent out pretty low rental yield but still get pretty high because everything's fully paid. They probably bought like half the price or maybe even lesser than that. So some of these rental sites, they are still very competing, because as your tenants, they are looking around at like rental records, they're wondering like, why are you asking so high but your neighbors are asking lower? Because they bought lower as well. Yeah, so I think this is also something very important to take note of for rental.
Actually, rental yield is a very interesting thing, because as landlords, you look at rental yield very differently from how tenants look at rental yield. So for example, landlords will value things like tenant. Oh, freehold, 999 year is good. The tenant don't give a shit whether is it a freehold 999, because they are going to stay there 1 year, 2 years. Even I've seen a tenant stay in the house for 14 years, but they're not going to own the property. So whether it's 99 years, they don't really care, right? Most of these projects of the 3 million freehold range, right, they are older lah. They are not new. So tenants will actually pay for facilities. Tenant will pay for the newness and modernness of the project. Does it make them feel good when they come back? Is the interior design nice? So Of course, from an investor standpoint, I will value, okay, like a freehold, the land size is good. But my facilities look dated. My facade don't look as modern. Right? It will have lesser value. That's why it translates from a rental yield perspective.
Yeah.
Security in the development also makes a lot of sense. If the development is not very secure, is no security guard one, of course your rental will be lesser. Compared to something as a security guard, you have gated lift lobbies, you have like lift level access in terms of security standpoint. I think these are things that tenants will value, that will generate higher rental, connectivity. Yeah. So some of these projects that we mentioned just now, they are good value, but they don't have that strong a connectivity standpoint. So from own state people, they can drive. So connectivity doesn't matter because you give them privacy. But all these tenants might prefer something that can help them to commute to work faster because they don't have a car, right? So they might want to have a walking distance to an MRT station. They want to have walking distance to amenities. $4 million budget.
Aim at luxury seekers. Should they focus on prime district, CCR, or rare landed gems? Breakdown plus deep dive each budget. Whiteboard sessions. Okay.
No whiteboard.
No whiteboard. Blackboard. Can we talk about the landed gems one? Because I think like we still have clients that are like having a $4 million budget, looking at some of the landed homes that are within this kind of like areas here as well. So I think if you have a look at the really like at the $4 million kind of like budget ranges, there are definitely still like hidden gems or some gems that you can pick on. But chances are some of these like landed homes, they do require a lot of love, a lot of touch-ups.
Love what a nice way to say that.
A lot of love. Yeah.
Love or nerve?
Love.
What's a nerve? Love. A lot of love.
Means you need to be very gutsy in order to buy into such properties.
You don't have to have guts, but you need a lot of love because some of these, like, they could be like 30, 40 years old, like landed homes, maybe single story or 2 stories. And you definitely need to come in and give a lot of like renovations or maybe tear down the whole thing to rebuild the whole space.
Okay, maybe we share $4 million, right? Landed, what can you buy?
Sure. So like $4 million landed, if you want to look at, let's say the east sides over there, around the range, maybe you can get like a, what you call like a Cat 2 kind of like landed homes that's available. So Cat 2 sites, if you are familiar with like PLB's analysis, that Cat 2 is that likelihood you're going to come in with A&A work. So that could cost you anything between from $800K to about $1 million range. So downtime can be anything between 6 all the way to like a year. Yeah, so that requires a lot of like patience, a lot of like renovations idea that's going to be pumped into that. So that's also going to balloon in terms of the budget ranges. And depending on whether or not you choose to take like maybe loans or maybe you choose to pay these with full cash, that's also going to affect your cash flow ultimately as well. Yeah, so I think if you're comfortable with that, because I have seen, right, people that have bought, let's say in the last like 3 years, right, 3.3 or $3.5 million like inter-terrace homes that are probably run down. Then what they do is that they segregated like 6 bedrooms, right, into these $3.5 million.
Wow.
Then they rent out. Then they can get really, really good rental yield. But when they come time to sell, right, they still make profits of around 400 to 500K. Yeah. They just by selling it off and they rent, they don't even stay there at all. So some opportunities are still kind of present. So of course, this is if you want to choose for this kind, means you buy like rundown landed homes, then you segregate to like different bedrooms, and then in the future, 3 years down the road, you can sell back at a premium lah. But of course, the person that's going to buy this is someone that's going to either like tear down and rebuild. So you're buying like almost like a category 1 home really. So this is the strategy that we've seen as well. Yeah. What about like the luxury seeker sites, or what you want to say?
No, I think lenders are assuming we're looking at freehold and 999 years.
Yeah.
I think there are 3 different categories that we can talk about. Number 1 is the small land size one. Less than 1,000 square feet land size, usually 900 plus square feet. Okay. Less than 4 million you can find. Usually those are the ones that we will
avoid.
Yeah.
I will avoid.
Yeah. And then you have that, just now we mentioned at the eastern side, you see something that's 1,003 square feet land size, something that's not extremely small, but it's still smaller than what the typical 1,006 square feet starting size of like an inter-terrace. You have some opportunities over there, but I definitely need a lot of love that you mentioned. So definitely what it needs is, usually maybe there's only 3 bedrooms. There might not be more than 1 ensuite bathroom. So you really need to do an internal renovation minimum. So that will be about close to 400,000 to 500,000 at least. So that will eat into what is your overall price quantum. If let's say $4 million, I would rather try to squeeze myself into a proper landed. Very, very hard to find now. Very, very hard at this price point. 1,006 square feet and above. Freehold 999 years. Some areas, for example, in District 28, you might have selected areas that you can find such things. But make sure that because District 28 is pretty big.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe you want to buy closer to like within the landed enclave one. Not so close to HDB enclave portion, for example. So that you have more volume effect and transactions that's happening in your region to spruce up the pricing. I think condition when looking at landed is the most important. So when I'm talking about $4 million, we're talking about really 2.5 stories, and you have at least 4 bedrooms. People do not have to do a rebuild to the home, which is what I call Cat 1 landed homes. You do not have to do addition and alterations to increase the height or push the length, which is what we call Cat 2 homes. We are looking at something that minimally is a Cat 2.5. You just need to do full renovation to make it modern internally, but the structure is sound. And we are playing the game of holding on to a strong asset class and just let the land price appreciate.
But also speaking on that, if you were to look at like District 28 and we have like $4 million budget and you find something that is maybe let's say a Cat 2.5 to Cat 3, would you consider that as pretty good investment? Because if you look at
Yes.
So the short answer is yes.
Yes, I think
Fine already.
I think for lender it's because there's a lot of pitfalls. So even though sometimes like the structure, the price might look okay on paper, but when you're assessing the unit, you need to see whether there are any inherent factors that will make it hard to sell. Surrounding that street opposite you, how is the road diversion? Is there any road line plan that will take away space, etc.? Are you facing a main road? So substation, things that will deter or will make it harder for you to exit next time. Then you need to have a discount factor. So assuming you don't have strong negative traits, I think if you can still find anything that's $4 million, it makes sense. Or the other strategy will be land banking strategy. You just buy a piece of land and it's a 1-story home. You just rent to foreign workers. You might not generate the best rental, but you're just getting some income to so you don't incur financing costs on that house, and that's good enough already. And basically you are just dollar cost averaging through your monthly installment into the home, own piece of landed. When the landed price, when the land price go up, you already benefit because there's not much structural value to it. Yeah, so it's a land banking game.
So just to follow up on what you are saying, the land banking portion, I think there is an estate in District 20. We call that Sembawang Hills Estate. There are units over there that is single story, 1,008 over square feet in land size. I think those will be the one that is suitable to rent out to construction workers. Yeah, those will be good to hold because there are a lot of units that are already bought over and then they got redeveloped and then they are reaching a new high. What's
the PSF land size? What's the PSF based on land size?
Land size,
because like if let's say
still have, last time.
Yeah, because if you say like 4 mil, if it's 4 mil 1,008 land, the PSF is very high. It's like $2,200 PSF.
But that's what you can get already.
$2,200 for Cat 1 is crazy.
The landed size over there
is like that one. Yeah, the land size there is somehow all very big.
So there are some of the 2,000 plus like inter-terrace like land size one. You can get almost close to 3,000. Very big land size over there.
Yeah.
That's the land banking strategy. For mine would be that I think at 4 million budget, right? It really is this like line that is thinning day by day.
It's like a hairline.
It's like the last few units that you can find that is we really call it a gem already. We really can find that you are very blessed. Like we are reaching the tail end of what you can find under 4 million because most of the clients at this budget cannot find much.
Why you never respond to my receding hairline joke?
I didn't see.
You got receding hairline?
No, I say it's very thin, I say it's just like a hairline, like a receding hairline. Then she just continue and continue and
because the three of us don't have. I mean, if George is here, maybe I can talk about it. Okay, coming back to my... Then be like...
You are not like that.
Okay, so at a 4 million budget, very difficult to find. But if let's say you can find something in landed enclave, don't need to be landed zoning, 2.5 story high, 4 bedrooms like you mentioned. That's good. But that's probably a last quarter kind of thing. At 4 million budget, what I saw was perhaps near to future MRT station, whereby the convenience is not there yet. The MRT is not there yet. People still don't enjoy the kind of convenience yet. I think you might be able to find a few. There is one at West Coast, 2-story high, but there's as of now only 3 bedroom. Condition wise, of course, not as ideal, need a lot of love, like it's mentioned. But I think there is potential. Land size is okay, maybe 1,005 or 1,006. It's decent. It's very decent. It's facing a park. It's not bad. but you need a bit of a budget for the love portion, maybe like 500 to 600k to create an additional bathroom and the 4th bedroom.
Actually, 500k you can change from a 3 to 4 bedrooms plus additional bathroom. Actually, it's good value.
I still need to increase the single phase to 3 phase. So
I don't need just don't use aircon.
Portable aircon.
Use fan.
Okay, how about the luxury segment?
Luxury segment. I think we have to understand the dynamics of the luxury segment first. What I feel, right, is that a lot of foreigners last time without the ABSD, they like to chong for the prime district or like CCR or like the Orchard area, of which after that, when ABSD kicked in, it's very difficult for them to let go. And as such, right, when I look at the development, especially for regions in the prime district, I will always go and find what is the ownership mix. Meaning to say, I want to see how many Singaporeans are holding, how many PRs are holding, and how many foreigners are holding. I haven't seen one of which the foreigners hold more than 50% in the condo development. You know what it means? Means I don't think they will let go leh. No, why would they let go? The moment they let go, they haven't even break even yet. Unless they are quite, they probably forego the ABSC that they paid and then they are willing to take a loss cut. Then maybe they will let go. So the ownership percentage is what I will look out for. If let's say it's highly owned by Singaporeans, then okay, maybe I will consider can find 3-bedder. Maybe I'll find a 3-bedder there. Yeah, so I will look out for the ownership mix.
Yeah.
But it's pretty common lah. I would say that like in the core central region, if you are looking at if you are using luxury as a definition, most of them 50% or more will be foreigners.
It's like a norm already, huh?
Yeah,
What's
because
considered, like luxury to you.
luxury to me is number one. It must have a nice facade.
Oh.
It must look modern lah. Or
Modern, okay.
yeah, it must look modern.
Can you give me a project that looks modern? I want to know what looks modern, ma.
Seaside residences.
Oh no, okay, that one I would. Okay. Okay, so a few things. So luxury, the concept will be a few things. Like for example, Boulevard 88.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So is the location good or not first? It must be a very central location. Okay. Yeah, so usually it's in the core central area or in maybe your East Coast District 15 where a lot of people aspire to stay because of the ambience that you like sea views, you are connected to 15 kilometers of East Coast Park. So you have this kind of location attribute, number one. Second thing, the facade must look good, right? So for example, Silver Sea looks nice. Usually it has like more like modern, clean, glass facade. Internally, the space, usually I would say you need at least 1,500 square feet and above the minimum. Does it have super high ceilings?
Is that
in
good?
the living area? Yeah.
Okay.
It's a form of luxury. Do you have like double volume, high ceiling in a big span of space, right? Does it have nice views? Okay. Yeah. So all these are, and does it sit on a big land size? Okay. So that is also a definition of luxury because most of the time what you are buying into is not just your unit, but the kind of amenities that you can also use within the development itself. Does it have private lift, concierge service, things like that?
Good concierge service.
Good concierge service. Okay. What are the other things that you will add on in the?
Actually, as I look at this question, right, and I'm like picturing myself as this person that's asking, when luxury sounds like to me, right, it sounds like something that is just in prime district, it's just in CCR. When I tell someone I stay in River Valley, people are like, oh, River Valley, eh. You know, like, so that to me, it sounds like luxury already. And of course, like the large land size is definitely going to be there because with a large land size, you're going to have like a lot of facilities that maybe when you want to bring your guests over, it can be a statement piece for them as well. So that to me is very simply like, that's luxury to me already. Yeah, just to form that level of like impression to know that, yeah, I think you made it in life.
Yeah, I tell you, my criteria very simple. I feel that.
So yours is the wow factor, basically.
Yeah. It's like, where you stay? River Valley. Wow, you know, that kind of thing.
So is it where you
aspire to
you want to stay?
I think if I was like, yeah, I think the short answer is yes lah. I would say that if let's say someone that is like single or just married or without kids or things like that, and you want to stay there, you don't need the schools and things like that, and you want to have like something that's luxury, that is luxury. Yeah. And I think it's just the size, it's just the location, it's just the Ming Sen when you stay there.
I think River Valley is a place where in the core central region, right, you're very well connected to, let's say, your Orchard Holland area, but you don't attract a lot of buzz, right? So it's not very squeezy, not very busy. So you have that privacy, you have a little bit of that quietness and serenity in conjunction, and then you add on to like the connectivity is there. So I think that is what River Valley means to me.
Yeah.
It's a quieter side of.
Okay, then you anything you want to?
Luxury.
No.
No. You were saying that you have like a simpler.
To me, right? Luxury just means two things. I think a nice view and a private lift.
Nice view and a private lift.
I feel like if you have a nice lift and a private lift and a nice private lift, the rest of it should be correct. The rest should be decent already. The facade will be okay.
So what is considered a nice view?
Some boutique developments might have private lift also.
Yes.
Yeah, but they are boutique, so the view would not be nice. Right?
It depends on maybe nice. If the boutique you happen to have landed, two-story landed in front of you, and you happen to be on the 4th or 5th story, you still get a lot of clear blue views. Not red. I mean, it's not
bad.
Okay, imagine. Yeah. That's quite nice also.
Okay, so what is considered a good view first?
Landed view. I like the sea view. I like greenery view.
Okay. Can you choose one out of it?
Can I choose one out of it? If I have to choose one, right, I like the sea. You know, I'm a water sports kind of guy.
Oh!
Though I'm very white. You can see it's very white. Next to my mouth.
Okay. He's saying he's very white, not he's very white, like naughty.
White.
Yeah. Oh, you do a lot of wakeboarding, correct?
Used to.
Wakeboarding coach.
No, not coach, definitely not there. Yeah. But I like sea view. For me, it's the sea.
I have a Laguna Park duplex penthouse sea view. Would you like to own it? 2,800 square feet.
When is the Toto bidding? Maybe
Sorry?
Let me try. When is the Toto draw? Maybe I give you a shot then.
It's on a Friday 9:30. So if you haven't, it will be out before that. If you good luck to you if you want it. Very good.
But honestly, if I was like retiring, right, your Laguna Park view, that one's nice. The sea view is nice.
Okay, so sea view is your favorite view. What is yours?
I actually prefer city view. I have an explanation for it.
City view.
No, because if you stand at the top of Laguna Park and then you look out towards CCP, right, it's flat. It's flat. There's nothing there.
CCP, you see the sea, ma?
Yeah, but the sea is flat.
Sea is flat,
The sea is flat. You see a few cargo ships. You see the clouds if it rains, but it's like a bit too calm. I like something with structure. You can see something in front of me. So for greenery, it's still the same. It's all green. They are like that, but they're green. They're still green.
Okay.
So I would prefer a city view. So I have a penthouse that overlooks this beautiful city view from the Kallang, that dome thingy, the stadium, all the way to...
You have fireworks view basically.
I don't know. I don't see a fireworks view. The sports hub there, to MBS, to Flyer, and then to the CBD area. I can see the entire stretch of it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, the location is very strategic.
Oh, that reminds me of the seaside residences that I sold before.
Right.
Landed facing. So basically I can see from on one end, right, I start to see from CBD area. I see the CBD area and I can see the fireworks. And then I see landed view in front of me that is permanent. And to the other side, I can see towards the Changi Airport Terminal 1. So you have a very wide kind of view. So that's nice. My personal favorite is I like water view. I like water but not sea view.
Okay.
Huh? You like the Bedok Reservoir view?
High five.
It's also water.
Also water.
You want to high five now? Maybe very awkward.
High five.
Okay. Anyway, water views that I like are like, for example, like your Sentosa water view. I like the bay view. So you have something that is quiet. I like quiet water view.
Quiet water view.
Bay.
Marina Bay.
Right.
Marina Bay.
Okay.
So Marina Bay, you have that nice bay view. And then you also have your city. And you can see the Five Fingers. And you can see Esplanade.
How do you see that?
Art Science Center, Art Science Museum.
Okay, so question. If you are very near there, you can't see if you are too high up. Then you have to stay lower. You get what I mean? Like once you sit at your living room.
You can see the entire thing. You can see the entire... Because the bay is very big.
You need to look down. Oh, okay.
The bay is very big. It's not like a swimming pool view. My swimming pool, you need to look down. Because the bay is it's pretty big. So you just see them. I'm talking about Art Science Museum.
I don't know. It just stunned me. It's like,
Lotus.
was it like five
Actually, it's
guys or-
Lotus.
Yeah, it's
I think it's Lotus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to the question.
Yeah, we diverted too long.
So luxury seeker. So that's what luxury means to you guys
Yeah.
and to me as well.
I think 4 million you can have you can consider core central region properties.
Yeah.
But it might not fulfill all the criteria of the luxury criteria that we mentioned.
But to me is that if I'm looking at this question is that as long as you stay in like CCR, like River Valley, those kind of areas, with a decent size, with a decent like facade and things like that, if that is to your definition luxury, right, then I think this budget range, you can definitely find something that is nice, like a 3-bedder or maybe even like a 4-bedder. Those kind of,
I think looking at the landscape moving forward, because core central region used to be an area that's very popular with foreigners, and a lot of price appreciation that is usually happens in like the pre-2007 kind of era, has a lot of participation from foreign funds, as well as investment holding companies. So because of right now, we are at 60% ABSD for foreigners, 65% for holding companies.
Yeah.
I will say that if I want to invest in core central region properties, I will look for schools, good schools as a very strong anchor, because I need to focus that if the changes to this policy are not, like going to become better, I want to make sure that it is a kind of core central region properties that Singaporeans will love to own. And most of the time, one of the key things will be areas where you have like strong schools. So your Bukit Timah planning area, I think that's important as compared to, for example, like usually where are the key districts that have all these luxury condos? D10, you have your Orchard River Valley area, you have your River Valley Robertson Quay area. You have your downtown core, which is your CBD area. Yeah. So I will probably want to focus on school districts if I can.
So that's you like you prefer something that is of like a school districts when you.
No, I'm just scared. Really. I'm just scared because I want to make sure, number one, if price appreciation is important, I need to have exit audience. So if I cannot exit strongly to having a lot of foreigners who wants to buy my condos because they have ABSD concerns, of course, US citizens, I can target US citizens, but I will want a bigger landscape. So I think I want to still be able to have attraction factor for Singaporeans. So good schools.
But what about like, because we see some articles right now online saying that, the CCR prices are very close to RCR. So might be CCR like a better consideration looking at that kind of like perspective? What do you think?
I think from a per square feet standpoint, the research is very valid. Some of the PSF, for example, today we go to CBD, resale market. You have $2,000 PSF, which is great value to be in the CBD region, right? In the core central region. At 2,000, 200,000, you can find like maybe in District 21, still in Bukit Timah planning area within good schools.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are 999 years. So why is Woodlands new launch at $2,000 per square feet?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the key thing is affordability is not just based on per square feet. Right. It's also based on the full price quantum. So a lot of times in the core central region, they are built to be of bigger floor plate, 1,004 square feet, 1,005 square feet. And the entire, or even up to 1,007, the price range balloons up. So for example, just like I mentioned CBD, $2,000 per square feet, everybody would probably be interested to want to stay in CBD where we can walk to hawker fair, walk to Michelin star restaurant, I can walk to 7 MRT lines. Sorry, 7 MRT station, 5 MRT lines. However, if let's say I need to pay $4 million, then I have more options here. I can now consider $4 million. Maybe I want to buy Bukit Timah planning area.
Okay.
Maybe I want to see I can squeeze into a landed property. Okay. So the divergence of your market pool and the overall affordability is the reason why maybe the PSF is not moving as fast, not appreciating as much over the last 10 years.
Okay. So let's give like a scenario lah.
Yep.
If let's say for example, right, that there comes a point in time where the RCR prices really like peaks against the CCR prices. Would you still say that maybe CCR sites there could be some opportunities? Or
but as long as if let's say what we're talking about is the price quantum. If let's say the price quantum gap strings, then I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so let's say for example, we have a RCR 4-bedroom condominium, $3.8 million. Okay, then we have a CCR project, 4-bedroom, $3.8 million. Which one will you pick? Let's say the RCR one is close to school. Yeah.
Can you give an example of which part of RCR and which part of CCR? It plays an important role.
Okay, let's say like, you just very general . Let's say, for example, okay, maybe if you want some specific, it could be like, okay, let's say in Rio Valley. Okay, then let's say if we move towards like maybe like seaside residences, that's like, if there is some scenarios that are something like that.
Okay, I'll surely go to the CCR.
You sure go to the CCR sites? Okay, because you feel that, okay, then the pricing disparity clearly is there. Okay.
Because the pricing disparity, what's important is not just from a per square feet level. It also is important from an entire price quantum level. And for that district itself, whether this is considered too expensive for people to come in.
Okay.
If it's like, okay, this is considered, maybe it's $4 million, but this is considered, this is the entry price for this area. Okay, then I feel safe. I don't want to be a very expensive product. I want to be the most expensive product in that area because my exit audience to exit to is very limited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And then of course, like if you say like the D15 99 years versus I come into call center, I'm getting a freehold or 999 years, then it makes more sense to me.
All right, so I hope that we have give you a lot of insights to our 3 questions. I think we covered on the BTO, we covered on resale, private property. We also did cover on different budget. I think the last one is going to help a lot of our listeners out there because like of all the different budgets and all the different profile that you are currently in. So, anything else that? How do I end this?
We can just conclude.
What conclude?
Yeah, just see you soon in the next episode. Bye. Happy house hunting.
Oh, okay.
Buy safe. Invest well.
Okay. No, I have a very solid conclusion.
Solid one.
So, okay, so this is the end of our this episode of NOTG. So, Happy New Year! 祝你什么都顺利 because it's a year of snake. Wish new.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the punk of it,
trend,
right?
Okay.
祝你买什么花什么 Right.
Okay, happy house hunting.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Shawn can write at the whiteboard since he's the nearest.
Oh, okay. Sure. What kind of income?
Yeah. So thank you, editor. You just help us to cut down all the downtime in transition. Cause a lot of downtime.